Can you hear us now? Turn up your volume.
Well, this is delayed.
We'll see if you can hear us now.
No audio. New audio. It's saying it's connected now.
Can you hear us now?
I don't know. No audio still.
There's no sound.
Still? Let us know when you hear sound.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
There we go.
Oh, there we go. All right.
This is delayed. There we go.
All right. Sorry about that. That's the
Perfect. I guess we'll
problem.
start over.
That's the problem with using new streaming software. You still
Yeah.
got to get the hang of it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess we'll start over. We're live.
Yeah, we're live now.
We're live. Everyone can hear us now. Talking. What are you drinking tonight? Let's start off at least.
I'm starting off with the Hard Truth Sweet Mash Bourbon at 90 proof. I'm a big fan.
And I'm starting off with a George Dickel Bottle and Bond. After all, March 3rd, Bottle and Bond Day. This is pretty much a chocolate and caramel Heath bomb to me. So giving this one a go. And also, I really just want to do a bottle kill. I think that's my theme when I come over. I just want to do bottle kills.
Yeah, and I no hat tonight. He was wearing a hat, so I didn't wear a hat.
Mixed it up.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Switched it up on you guys.
I can't wait to see what you guys do when it comes to like betting over under.
Right?
Is it Todd's white hat? Is his black hat? Is Pat gonna wear a hat? We'll see how things go.
So what's everybody drinking tonight?
Yeah, type away.
One thing about this new software is I think there's a greater delay in the old software.
They both had delays, but the exciting thing is it's working and we have audio.
Yeah, no,
That's all that
audio's
matters
working,
right
yeah.
now.
We also have little Devin with us.
Yep. I think the newest edition was probably the reason why the mic wasn't working, because that's our mic. We'll blame little Dev.
So this Hard Truth Sweet Mash Bourbon,
Yep.
for a 4-year bourbon is really, really good.
Yeah.
What do you think, Devin?
Pretty good.
See, Devin agrees.
Devin definitely agrees. He always agrees. I like the new soundbite. That's awesome.
David's got the new riff pick.
There you
Fantastic.
go. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Cheers, David.
I like
Paul's got the old fits.
I like Trevor's a lot.
Western Reserve 10 year. There you go. That's Eric.
That's Eric. Yeah,
Eric.
apparently he typed it in. But yeah, that's a good bottle.
Yeah. And Trevor with the Eagle Rare bottle kill. Very
Yeah.
nice. It's always a good start. Always a good start.
Oh yeah.
So, speaking of Eagle Rare and Buffalo Trace in general,
Yeah.
you had a huge drop here in Ohio for any of you people who aren't in Ohio who are watching.
Yeah.
I
I know there's some PA people, West Virginia. I think Steve's from Alabama. Probably is going to get on here eventually.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's on yet.
No, yeah. But either way, super exciting drop, surprise bonus drop, as they said on the email.
But yeah, so it was huge, a huge drop. It was like almost all Buffalo Trace and Coy Hill. That was like the one non-Buffalo Trace bottle that came out.
Allegedly Coyle.
Allegedly,
I say allegedly
because I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
But they dropped Rock Hill Farm, CYPB, Weller Single Barrels, Weller Full Proof, Weller 12, an E.H. Taylor barrel pick. That's what you get for drinking Dickel.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Buffalo Trace
a
barrel pick,
Sazerac
barrel pick,
Yep.
and an Eagle Rare barrel pick.
Yep.
So a lot of good bottles, and each store had like 150 bottles, something like that, close to it.
Yep. And Trevor, you're right. It was a surprise.
Yeah, surprise, as in they were talking about it for like a week prior on Reddit.
Yeah, on Reddit. And it's funny, too, because obviously it's a rumor. We've also seen OHLQ do delays. They push stuff back because of the leaks, so that way it even gets more random and whatnot. But I know the email went out, I think, around
5:55, I think is when
I got mine at 4:54. I was line for 20 minutes.
Choking on a Dickel. That's him every Saturday night, choking on a Dickel.
Chicken cock.
Yeah, Weller Full Proof pick. Yep. So there's a lot of good bottles. Now, I managed to get out, and I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. It was kind of a crapshoot. The only thing we don't really know is
Locations.
what stores it's going to be at, because it's not every store.
Yeah. Those locations kind of hoping and praying, but yeah.
Right.
We still
David
got
said
lucky.
his store had Coy Hills. He was 10th and still got a CYPB and Weller 12. So
That's awesome. I was
but that's
16th,
nice.
and I got an EH Taylor single barrel OHLQ pick. So
Yeah.
super excited about that.
Well, I went to a store that I was hoping would have it. It was kind of just a guess, and luckily they did. And I got there I was there like at 4:00.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for the email to drop or the website to update. So I ended up being first in line, and I did get a Rock Hill Farms. So, good bottle.
It's a great
Good,
bottle.
good bottle.
I was
after the Coy Hill, but I was happy
Yeah.
with the Rock Hill Farms.
I got, like I said, being 16th in line and getting a very delayed email. Just very excited to get something good. Ran to another store, got another one of an Eagle Rare state pick. So excited about that one. And then that was all I was able to do that night. It was too late, and my budget was already busted.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Interesting. Everyone agrees. It's interesting.
So I was going to say, side note, I know I put up the thing and then Todd changed it. For those who don't know, I'm Patrick, honorary whiskey sipper. Trying to help out Todd while Devin's away out and about. So doing his thing to
In the
help
army.
protect our freedoms
In the
and
army.
whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's out on deployment.
Yeah, deployment. So, but because of that, I'm helping out Todd, and I know he's got a number of guests. In addition to Lines Up and some other people that are friends.
Yeah, I got some other channels that I've been talking to that are going to come in time to time. Some other people from the area I'm going to have in. Matt said he get this. Cheers, Matt. He got a Weller CYPB and a Weller single barrel. That's a really nice haul.
That's
a great one to pull those two off,
especially when they're MSRP.
Right. Now, outside of the Rock Hill Farms, I managed to go to a couple other stores, and I did get Weller 12s at both those stores.
Yeah,
I
wasn't lucky. I got the state picks, but those are solid.
I have like the Bourbon Mafia.
Yeah, you do.
That I send out whenever these drops happen, because my wife drinks bourbon, and she likes to hunt, so of course she's out.
Yeah.
And we got my mother-in-law. She's retired, and she goes out for us like when we have these drops and stuff. And so I actually ended up with my wife got a CYPB.
And to back it up just a little bit,
okay.
I actually was with his mother-in-law as well as Renee. So I was with them hunting. They were, I believe, second and fourth in line, and I was 16th. But we did spend some time together while we were there hunting. So
we got some CYPBs to go with the Rock Hill Farms, and I picked up the Weller 12s.
Yep.
And then my daughter, I had her go to her local store down where she lives. She's going to college.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting a Weller 12 and an Elmer T. Lee. So I ended up with a whole bunch of bottles. I didn't keep clinging. Separate those.
I'll separate them. But yeah, I didn't realize that you had them hunt too. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I ended up with like 9 bottles overall.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not keeping them all. I'm looking. I've already made a trade.
Yeah.
For one, I traded some of the bottles, and I got this to open.
Ooh.
So that will now give me the complete rainbow. I have the unopened rainbow already. Now I'll have the opened rainbow.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to. Yeah, you kind of can see it up here. This right
yeah,
here
like
the
behind
rainbow.
me, the rainbow, the Weller. David, David put in the Discord. He said, like, I'm number like X in line, and Devin's mom's number in line, because I was like, they live in the same area.
That's too funny. That's too funny. And that bourbon guy, aka Paul, you're welcome, man. I was very fortunate. I got 2 of the SAS picks, and figured I'd try to get Paul one. He was working late and couldn't get off, so I was able to snag him one. So it's not just for me. It was for some others in our bourbon group.
Yeah, because Paul couldn't make it out.
Yeah.
Trevor, there was a ton of Weller 12. It really was. It was like 5 cases at each location.
And surprisingly, I was not able to get one. So
luckily
I have one already, but it would have been nice to have a backup.
Yeah, so there was a lot of Weller 12 out there.
Yeah.
I think this is Tracy. I know the name's Silly Yorkie, but I think that's Tracy from the Patreon.
Yep.
Is there a bottle that you would buy if you came across it? Well, there's a whole bunch I'd buy at
there's-
MSRP. It depends. It depends how much of a secondary for others.
That's true. And to do a little precursor, Todd and I actually filmed some videos about a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
or-
we did.
or last
No,
week.
it was last Saturday.
Last
Just past
Saturday, We filmed a couple, and we actually do have our list of things that we're looking for for 2025.
Yeah, like the 5 bottles we're most excited for.
And disclaimer, I have 2 extras on there because I actually got 2 that I was looking for.
Yeah, so there, Tracy, the ones that I buy, even if it's like maybe close to like double the price, I will always grab up are like Jack Daniel's 12 years. I love the Jack Daniel 12 years, and somehow by hook or crook, I have got to get a Jack Daniel's 14 year this year.
Yeah, spoilers, but
yeah.
but yeah, no, that's a delicious bottle. I think really just for me, it's almost any kind of like store pick or group pick. There's a lot of good ones for me that are just like, I can't get them here in Ohio. I know Blue Note Juke Joint is one of them. To me, that's just a phenomenal bottle down in Memphis, and they're usually in South Carolina where I visit, so you can usually get one back. So
I get those when I run out. But they're when you're in like Tennessee or stuff, you can get those Blue Notes anywhere,
easily.
Anywhere.
But
they're fantastic bottles.
I always go for a store pick of those, and then another one that's just incredible. That I always love is really just like a Knob Creek. Those are super easy. Old Foresters.
So she was saying without regard to price.
Oh, regard to price.
I mean, that's all. For the most part, like I said, the Jack 12s, if I've come across them and they're anywhere near reasonable, I'll pay more for those. Same with old fits.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I would pay over MSRP for an old fits as long as it's not too crazy. Like I'm not paying 3 times the price.
Yeah, like so I actually got a bottle of old fits 10 year from last year, and that bottle I think was like around $250. So it's more than what normally would be. But
about 120 over MSRP. So it's about 130.
But for a 10 year, they usually go for like 350 or 400. So the fact that it was in that like in between spots, like I shouldn't, but I'm not going to find one out in the wild any cheaper than that unless like win a lottery or something like that in Ohio. I was like, I gotta buy.
That's how we got ours, won the lottery.
Yeah,
Renee won in the lottery.
I got King of Kentucky instead, so it was another expensive bottle, but super crazy.
King of Kentucky's so good too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So it is. Or this week was Bottled and Bond Day on the 3rd. So in honor of that, I am going to fresh crack an E.H. Taylor Bottled and Bonds. I finished off my last one. This was my backup, so I managed to get another one while we were down at Buffalo Trace a few weeks ago to get a backup for my backup that's now going to be the open bottle.
So, question though, because we usually in our group say America. Should we say like Little Dev or something now?
No, you can say what you want.
Right,
if I say anything, I say Skull. But that's
Skull. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
All right, ready?
America.
America.
Bottle and Bond, baby.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta love a good.
I know.
All right, I'm gonna have to get a new glass for that. So we've gone through a number of different bourbons already tonight. What is everyone else out drinking there? I didn't get to see too many of those.
Well, I saw Old Fitz. I saw David was drinking our barrel pick.
Yeah, I saw a barrel pick.
Trevor was killing an Eagle Rare, I believe.
Did see the Eagle Rare.
That's the only ones I remember seeing.
Yeah. There's no way that we're the only ones drinking. Come on. There's got to be more in the chat that are drinking.
800. What was 800, Tracy, that you saw? I mean, there's a lot of bottles that will go for that much on secondary, but I'm just curious which one you're talking about. Yeah, Russell's 15 is, I mean, I don't like to pay secondary, but that's one that bottle's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, very fortunate for the one I got. It was in a trade, but the total value ended up being about $310. So $60 over MSRP on a trade.
Absolutely.
I don't think the guy knew what he was doing, but I'm happy about it. The guy got what he wanted for the trade, but super pumped about that.
I did manage to get mine when they dropped here in Ohio, so I got 2 bottles at MSRP. I'm very thankful for.
I was in South Carolina.
Yeah. I was actually in Memphis, but I had people here who went out and got them while we were doing a barrel pick at Old Dominic.
Yeah.
Gave up drinking for Lent. All right.
I respect it.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, it is longer than dry January. So just putting it out there, it is longer.
Yeah,
it's like 40 days.
I'm not familiar. I'm not really familiar with Lent. Except you eat fish on Fridays or something.
It's a conspiracy theory, but we're not here for that today. It's the whole fish market. Tracy
is sipping some scotch. Well,
ooh.
Yeah, that's all you.
what kind of scotch is it? So when I started drinking, it was Jack Daniel's, Maker's Mark, and Johnny Walker. So those are like the main ones that got me into drinking. And I like scotch. It's not something I drink as much now because I have way more bourbon. But I'd love to know what kind of scotch it was.
Trevor said that the Russell's 15 is now 500 to 550. It was 450 a few months ago. Right after the drop, I saw it going for 375 on secondary. Russell's 15.
Oh, wow.
Right after it dropped here in Ohio, because a whole bunch of it dropped, I saw people selling them for 375.
I would have jumped on that. John, I like the clarity on that one. So just during the weekdays, I like that.
Oh, okay.
Weekend warrior. I appreciate that.
So last Saturday, as Patrick mentioned, we did some filming.
Yep.
Next week is going to be the last set of videos I had filmed with Devin.
Yep.
And then after that, some new videos that we filmed will be coming out. And we went to Lake Erie Distillery.
We did.
And we spent several hours there.
Yep.
They took us in and gave us the tour. And we got to interview the owner and master distiller.
Yep.
And we got to try all of their products.
The entire vertical had a phenomenal time out there. So I greatly appreciate that. And then we go at the end of, obviously you opened up the venue for us explicitly just for this.
Yeah, they opened up early so we could come in.
Yeah, which was really nice. But we obviously want to pay homage and appreciate the time that he did that for us and like buy some stuff. And he actually gave us free little mini Glens. So I was like, hey, that's a nice little token. Thank you. Appreciate it.
But so after that, we came back and we started filming. And so we actually started about
2:30.
Well, we started drinking like 11 a.m.
Yeah, 11:15.
And we didn't finish till like after midnight. So we drank for like 12 hours.
I got home around like 12:45 and went to bed by 1. So it was a long day of festivities. So hopefully you like the future content. Be nice to me in the comments.
A hint on the next pick. I have a call. I'm looking for a retailer. Once I have a retailer lined up, I'll make an announcement that next Thursday. I can't really say because not every retailer can do every distillery. So it's where I can find a retailer to work with on what we have to do.
And Brad, to give you a little bit of an update, Todd is keeping that information very close to the chest. So I actually don't know. I know the top like 4 or top 5, but I still don't know which one he's decided. And I know, like I said, some of the behind the scenes of the distribution is what he's working on. Yeah. But until that's figured out, I don't even know which one he's selected. And the reason he can't come after me in the text.
reason I haven't announced it is because I can't until I get something settled with the retailer. Yeah. So because not every distillery I'm looking at is in every state. So
yeah. But with that being said, I unfortunately don't even know that. I just know the top 4 or 5. So gotta bug him.
Tracy Sealbox did not get back to me. I've reached out to him twice and they have not returned my calls. So I have to find somebody else. I did try to reach out to them. So we'll see. But hopefully I have a call lined up tomorrow. I can kind of get it settled in. And then next week I can actually announce it. That's my hope. WB Bourbon Guy said he started with Johnny Walker, Chivas, and Makers, and 4 Roses.
All good ones.
Chivas Regal. That's Scotch too, right? Is that Scotch?
Scotch or brandy?
Oh, maybe it is brandy. I'm not sure. It's not bourbon.
No, it's definitely not bourbon. No, I can't. I might be. Yeah, let me know if I think that's brandy. But either way, Johnny Walker's delicious. I'm a big fan of that. Makers ambassador over there, and we're both Mellow Moments members.
Yeah.
So it's actually my water cup is actually a Mellow Moments one. Yours too?
So is mine.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
So, Ohio Distillery, the video we shot, the tour we did and stuff was an Ohio distillery.
Yeah.
The pick, I'm not looking at any Ohio distilleries for a pick at this time.
Now, I'm not gonna throw you under the bus completely.
Chivas is Scotch.
Scotch. Okay, cool. There you go. I was gonna say not to throw you under the bus completely, but can you at least say where the states are for those distilleries?
The
Or is
distilleries I'm looking at,
Yeah.
it's going to be either in Tennessee, Kentucky, or Indiana.
And was there a fourth one? Was that also Kentucky?
No, the others are, they're in Kentucky.
So
There's
yeah,
multiple in
so
Kentucky.
multiple in
Yeah.
Kentucky. All right. So yeah. So I was like, I know at least the 4.
Yeah.
But either way, it should all be really good stuff. Whatever we do.
Mm.
So that's pretty cool. And
They're all distilleries I like. So
yeah. And I know that obviously every distillery is a little bit different. I do know that like the pick teams is something that will obviously be a part of like the Patreon group. So for those who aren't involved yet, definitely time to sign up for those. Definitely want to get a nice opportunity to go on and be a part of the pick would be pretty cool.
I've reached out to them also, Brad. They sent an email back. We had said, hey, let's meet at this day, this time. And then I did not receive the call. So
yeah. There's a good question from Tracy. I believe it's Tracy, if I remember correctly.
how do you decide where to make next picks? It's I kind of just take a lot of things into account. I take into account first, do I like it? I'm not going to pick from somewhere that I don't like.
Yeah.
Have I had it before? I'm also looking at what do I think the general public would like? Is this something that people would want to buy, or is it something that's maybe so flooded they wouldn't really care if we did a pick and it won't sell? I look at things like some distilleries can do a half barrel or a full barrel, or what is the pricing for the bottles, right? Because some distilleries, like a lot of people talk about River Roots, and River Roots has some really good stuff, but River Roots
like
is expensive.
120, 140 bucks a bottle.
So it's harder to sell a barrel of a bottle that's $120 a bottle
when you get 2 or 3 for that price.
when you can find other distilleries that have good stuff that's like 55, 65.
Yeah.
So that I got to take all that into account when I'm making that decision.
True. And I think the other thing that is just from what we did on this last pick is, one, can we obviously get more people involved to potentially buy bottles and whatnot, but also can that particular experience maybe be a part of larger groups, get more Patreon people involved,
that's something else I look at. Some distilleries
people.
Some distilleries limit. I've talked to a couple distilleries that limited the pick team to like 6 people.
Yeah.
I've had others that said 10. So when I call the distillery and I talk to them, that is one of the things I ask, like, what days do you do it? What times does it have to be? Like, because nobody really does weekend picks hardly. It's got to be
a lot of them during the weekdays.
But some won't even do like Fridays. So I'm always looking for at least on a Friday, so you can make a long weekend out of it and stuff like that. So there's a lot of questions I ask when I talk to the distilleries.
Yeah.
I just kind of have a notebook where I take notes and for this stuff, because I'm trying to plan out. I really have trying to plan out multiple, right? This is gonna be our next one, but I'm already looking at, okay, down the road, what other ones would I like to do? Like,
there's a few that I know that he's talked to. It's been like, oh, we can get you tomorrow. Like, oh no, we get to plan more for that.
Yeah. Some you have to go, okay, we'll schedule you 4 or 5 months out.
Yeah.
Some we can get you in, in 3 or 4 weeks.
Or 2 days.
Yeah. Some you can get them right away.
But I think obviously time is going to be the biggest advantage. Like, is it something that most people want? Is it something that most people for like the patrons can be a part of? Like, we'd love to obviously have your opinion and input to that particular bottle. It makes it more that community setting.
Yeah, that's always how we're going to fill out our pick team. Really is by kind of through our Patreon giveaways.
Yeah, but Tracy, great question.
Yeah, so as far as the bottle, I know people will spend more. They will, but when you're talking about an entire barrel, and our channel's just not that big yet, and I got to sell 200 bottles at $200 a piece. And when you talk to these distilleries or your retailers, you got to guarantee them the sell,
it will sell,
regardless of if it's not sold in 30 days and I got to cover the rest of it type thing. So I'm a little hesitant to go for really high price bottles.
Which I want to clarify here, that is all on Todd, not me.
Yeah.
So it's not like that's why we want to try to make sure the masses want to enjoy it, so he's not going bankrupt and having to do an OnlyFans or something.
Right.
We don't want to see that.
I'd really go broke.
You probably actually owe people money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so Brad did a pick over at Augusta Distillery, and they did a 15-year.
Was it?
15,
Was it
15 year, right?
Yeah, that we actually met right on Valentine's Day when we picked up the bottles.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
The day. Yeah. There was the day of.
Yep.
Yeah, it was on Valentine's Day.
When
Yeah.
we picked the,
When we picked up our
bottles.
barrels.
Yeah.
Our barrel.
Yep. But yeah, no, all good questions. All good questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like how we're as a community already starting to create some mystery, figuring out what's going to go on, and people are already excited about the next pick, whichever it may be. So
cheers,
awesome.
Jeff.
Cheers, Jeff.
So yeah, but back to what we originally started on, the huge pick in Ohio. So
yes,
we had a huge drop in Ohio. Lots of bottles, and I know we have a lot of Ohio people here, so they were out, and people were in the Discord texting kind of where they were at and what they were getting, and people in our text groups, and so I like the way Ohio does it. Now it makes it a little harder to get certain bottles. Like I didn't get a Coy Hill. I really wanted a Coy Hill.
That would have been the dream bottle for that drop.
But I like that they put it out so that a lot of people have a chance to get a bottle.
Yep.
I mean, you got to put in a little bit of effort, but with a little bit of effort, you get something.
True. And then on top of that, too, the amount that was actually dropped at each location, there was your more premium bottles, whatever you want to call it, and then they had the consolation prize. The consolation prizes were great.
I mean, like Weller 12, Weller Full Proof, those kind of went a little bit later, but still, Elmer T. Lee.
Yep. And then
stuff that you don't normally see on the shelf.
And then just like a barrel picks too. Like I know I got an E.H. Taylor, a single barrel pick, Eagle Rare, and a Saz. But I've never seen a Saz pick before. So it was just really cool to see that in Ohio. I know like you have a John O's and all that stuff. But I've just never Kentucky, I've never seen those. They're really cool.
John, have I ever had anything from Old Pogue? I've had their regular small batch. I've been to the distillery and we did the Bourbon Trail. It was okay. It wasn't anything that really like knocked my socks off that I had. So if they have a more premium bottle, I haven't had that. I just had their kind of basic bottle.
Can't say I've heard of them. So new to me. This is great information on how the process works. Thanks.
Yep. Pick some really good distilleries to go to. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the idea. I'm not going to go anywhere that I don't like. I'm not going to just show up and hey, we want a barrel here. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do a pick there.
Well, let's be honest too. Grab that Taylor real quick. So Todd's palate is pretty refined, kind of like this. However, I have this thing called floor whiskey, which I like this. So you definitely want to go off his palate compared to mine. He's definitely looking out for the best interest of the group. But also more importantly, we are trying to accommodate several people all at once. Like there's obviously the Patreon people, there's the different levels of is the pick going to go? Can we unload 200 bottles, whatever?
Yeah.
We're trying to do it the best way. We obviously know that there's never a right way for it, but we're trying to make sure that there's the minimal amount of wrong.
Yeah.
So more people are involved, more people are getting the pick, more people can potentially buy multiple bottles than just the cap of maybe 2 or 3. So we want to make sure all of that is involved for everybody to make it a better experience for everybody.
Yeah. For even those who don't attend, make sure I like to have people in there I know, like when I'm there, at least a few people I know, and that they're going to have a good palate and we're going to have a good barrel. So
surprisingly,
enjoy it.
I've done 2 with him already, and surprisingly, I've passed the bucket.
John said, sadly, I had no idea the special drop earlier. Are you in Ohio? If you're in Ohio, you need to go check out the Ohio Liquor Reddit. Because they were talking about it for like a week before the drop.
Or just sign up for the email. So if you get an email, it will at least get to you and say, okay, I need to run. May not be the best opportunity for your first pick, but you at least get something.
Let's see. You just need to come to any meet that that we have. Yeah, if you come to any meet up there, I mean, we're always going to have stuff with us. So
true. Yeah. Or if you randomly see Todd out in the wild.
Yeah. If you see me out in the wild, you come and you recognize me. I keep samples in the trunk. You can pull a sample.
There's a key phrase. You got to say, what's the best bourbon or whiskey?
And you get to pull a sample.
Yeah. And I still blame Brad for that, because when we met up for the first time, we ended up going to a hotel lobby and went live, had some fun, and we killed the entire sample list.
Yeah, we drank the entire bottle. There's like
Yeah.
30 sample bottles in there. Let's see, I'm trying to scroll back up for a second because there was a really good point Paul made.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right, Paul.
Hey, I agree to it.
Great point.
Yeah, I am the king of floor whiskey. I should actually have a little like Burger King crown. That's what I should have.
Because you're a newer group, you're trying to grow. That's why you joined. Well, I'm glad you joined, Tracy.
Hey, appreciate
We're
it.
part of the endeavor. You guys are my kind of people. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
And to be honest too, I know I'm not the greatest person when it comes to just being active on Patreon or even on the Discord, but I do see your name pop around a lot. So I appreciate the activity that you're a part of as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, John, get on the Ohio Liquor Reddit, and any of these drops, every one of these drops that's happened over the last couple of years, I've known about a couple of days before just from looking at the Reddit.
Yeah.
The only question is you're never going to know what store is participating.
Yeah.
Or which store got selected by OHLQ, because there's been a couple of the drops where I went like an hour before.
Well, we did the one down the street from my place.
At Lakes.
Yeah, Lakes.
So
Lakes, yeah.
I went like, I got there like 4 o'clock and it went, or 3 o'clock, and it was supposed to be an email released at 4. And when the email got released and the website updated,
It wasn't
the
on
store
the list.
that we were at was not on the list.
We sprinted to the next location,
Yeah.
but we were already out and about, so it was kind of nice. Yeah.
So it's a crapshoot sometimes where you go, but at least you know what's going to happen, so you're ready.
Yeah, you're at least prepared.
Yeah.
Tracy, another great comment. My brother actually lives in Savannah, so he's down in Georgia. It's a good place to crash. I know 13th Colony, I think, is about 2 or 3 hours away from Savannah, but I like 13th Colony.
I would definitely do a 13th Colony barrel pick.
Yeah.
The 13th Colony higher proof stuff I like.
Oh, so good.
The base bourbon is okay.
Yeah.
But the higher stuff that I've had, I've liked.
Yep. It's actually something to add to my repertoire. I gotta add that vertical in there.
Yep.
It's really good.
Brian said that he and Shauna started at the wrong store on Tuesday. Like,
Yep.
you guys knew it was going to happen, because I know you look at the Reddit.
Yep.
Problem is, you get there like
You don't know.
a half hour before the email is supposed to be released, so you're going to be ready, and you don't know. It's happened to me before. Like I said, you get the wrong spot, and you got to try to run somewhere else
real quick.
This last one, I got lucky. The store did do it that I went to.
I had a meeting for work at 4:30 when the email was supposed to be allegedly released for 6 o'clock drop. I called Todd, and I picked the wrong direction leaving my house. So I was like going towards his, thinking he might be at this one. He's like, no, I'm at the other direction. I'm like, well, I've already committed him already towards going to this liquor store and ended up meeting up obviously with your wife and your mother-in-law. But
my wife and I split up for these drops because we don't know what store is going to do it. So we pick like 2 stores we think might do it, and we each go to one. So if one of us strikes out, the other one might be able to get a bottle.
If you're ever on the verge of being married, this is why you get married. So you can divide and conquer, and then make sure you're good with the in-laws, and then they can help you out as well.
Will I take the Penelope off the lighted shelf? You don't like Penelope? Is that what you're saying? You're
in
like,
that case, we should add more.
that's all. Well, no, I got some more in the barrel.
No, the barrel of shame. That's what it is.
You can host us in a condo if we go and do a short barrel pick.
That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. And for the record, I have my own air mattress, so I will bring my own to save some sleeping spots. So there you go.
So we split up, and that's just kind of how we do it. We don't want to go to the same spot when we don't know where it's going to be.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. Like for OHLQ's website, they had the listings of what stores were supposed to have what, and then it got updated, and then the stores got updated, so they weren't even all the same stores. So it was a little bit of a nightmare.
Yeah. So when it first opened up on the map, so what happened is OHLQ showed the bottles on the map before they released the email with what stores are doing it.
So if you refresh it quick enough, sometimes you can get lucky and have an idea where to go.
Yeah. But the store I was at showed up on the map, And when I started looking at what bottles were supposed to be there, Coy Hill was on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But then by the time the actual drop rolled around, the list had updated and Coy
Yep.
Hill wasn't there. So I was disappointed in that.
Yeah. Luckily for us, one person in our group, our Ohio Bourbon Barrel Club group got a bottle.
Bryant.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did. So at some point, hopefully, we get to try that.
Is Stag the bottle I have the most of? I count 10 plus 2. Well,
He's got 2 George C. Stags.
I've got how many do I got up there? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 11. I got 11 Stags up there that are open. I do have some that are not opened.
In my collection, I have the 2024 vertical. I had 3 of the 2023s, but I drank them for my brother's bachelor party. Stag's great bottle, just because of the name. Of course.
Stag might be the bottle I have the most of, but they're not all the same batch. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I have
there's
a lot of
variants.
them, but it's
Yeah.
ranging from batch 15 to the latest 24D.
And
so I have a whole bunch of Stags, but it's just a whole bunch of different batches with some backups of some of them. You know, I got doubles of some.
And then in my collection with Stag, I have one that is the last labeled junior, Stag Junior.
That was 17.
So I have a 17. I never remember the batch numbers, but I have one of those, and I have like that in like a little like retirement section, like they're discontinued.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Let us know what you're sipping. But yeah, so I have a lot of Stag, but I also have, what else do I have a lot of? I have a lot of Jack Daniel's barrel proofs. I think I got 6, 7, 8,
you have a
9,
bunch.
10.
But
I got about 14 different bottles of the Jack Daniel's single barrel proofs.
For the record, those are his wife's section. So
yeah,
they're not all his. They are his wife's.
Yeah.
As the comment shows, you can't see the stock room.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
Yeah. So we have a whole bunch of the Jack Daniel barrel proofs. We love the Jack Daniel barrel proofs.
Yeah.
And we go through a lot of them.
I think for my collection, besides, like I said, number of Stags, like I said, different variants, I have a number of the different Old Forester single barrel strength ones.
Oh, yeah.
As well as the single barrels, 100 proof ones. I think I have like 3 or 4 of those each. So big fan of those.
Yeah, Renee just said Old Forester. Yeah.
Yep.
The single barrel proofs, we got around 14 or 15. We've got at least one from every warehouse, and then multiple floors from most of the warehouses. And we have about 9 of the Old Forester 100 single barrel black labels.
Yep. And then on top of that too, just from a palate perspective, Renee and I have a very similar palate. As of recently, maybe a couple of our group meetings have been off, but for the most part, we're pretty much aligned. 3
Stag plus 1 George C. Stag. Yeah, that's good. I mean,
That's
a lot
great.
of people don't have any. I mean, you got 3 Stag.
Yeah.
And that's, again, that's nice to be in Ohio, right? Because when the Stags drop, like
They're
this
plentiful.
last time, they dropped in pretty good quantity in their MSRP. So we're getting them for like $55.
And
now
not
you
only,
can't beat that.
And not only that, they also dropped in several different variants. Like they had B, C, and D.
They had
So
all 4.
it was like
all 4 batches.
You don't exactly know which one you're getting, but you had an option to get a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all 3 of those were great. I think A was one of the worst ones out of 2024.
A was the best one.
I don't know about A.
A was the best. 24A was the best one.
I thought it was C and B for me. That's me.
You know, Dichter's is Michter's. Dichter's hardly knew her.
Yeah, he clearly loves Dickel too.
Yeah, Michter's is Devin's jam.
Yeah.
Do you have an equivalent? Yeah, Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack Daniels that's our primary thing. That's what I consider my daily sipper is a Jack Daniels single barrel proof. The Jack Daniel 12-year, even a lower proof, has ended up in like the top 3 for my whiskey of the year the last couple of years. So yeah, Jack Daniels.
And honorary sipper over here, like I said, not replacing Devin for what he does, just an honorary sipper. I would say for me, it's Old Forester. That's one of my definitely go-tos. I just love it. And then now recently creeping up is actually Four Roses. Big fan of Four Roses.
Four Roses is very.
I know which batch I like. I know what recipe I like. So that's the thing. That's why.
David said the basement was impressive. Thank you, David. He stopped by the Speakeasy and picked up his bottle from the barrel pick. So and he had a couple of pours.
Yep, that's awesome. Going back up to what Brad said a moment ago, slightly up.
Something about Dickel.
No. It was with Paul. Bear with me. Keep going. Keep this one right here.
Oh,
Right there. Sorry, we're scrolling through chat. Basement goals.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
Paul. Need to send a picture of your Audi.
yeah. Poor Brad hit a deer and destroyed the front of his car.
True. That's not the way you get a stag. It costs more than $65.
Yeah. It's not the kind of stag I was talking about.
No,
Brad.
no, exactly. No, but I was going to say is obviously Todd's basement's very impressive.
So is Paul's.
But Paul's
got more,
that bourbon
more
guy
battle than I do.
He has a bourbon warehouse down in his basement. It is absolutely incredible. I think you just click off of it over here. Yeah, it should. No, maybe not.
How to get rid of that?
What'd you do?
Okay, technical difficulties here. I hit the thing.
What'd you do? Send us a message.
Oh, we're here. Okay.
There you go.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
Boomer over here trying to work the computer.
Not a boomer. Gen X.
Close enough. You're older than me. I may have more gray hair than you, but still.
Your first Old Forester was in 1924.
Your first
I like
one?
1924.
Your first ever, damn.
Your first, you haven't even had like the regular just Old Forester 100 because for a budget pour, that's a great pour.
That's incredible pour.
Yeah.
We talk about that in one of the future videos coming up, actually. However, Old Forester, if you have the chance, a 1910 and a 1920, blend those together. That bourbon guy and I did that on a bottle. Becomes a 1915, and we love it. It's one of our favorites. Yep.
It's good.
Homemade label.
It's good. The 1910's better by itself.
See, I like the 1920 over the 1910 if I were to go individually. But I love the combination of the two. It's really good. Really good.
Let's see. You missed Devin. Well, I'm sure Devin would appreciate hearing that. You do love having guests in this place until he returns. Yeah, I'm not going to do it alone. I just feel like I'd sound like an idiot up here by myself, just talking to no one.
He's not far off. He
Yeah,
is an idiot. So if you add me, it takes all the pressure off him to me.
So, yeah, I am going to mix it up. I'm going to have Patrick on quite a bit. Patrick lives nearby.
I live like 10, 15 minutes away. So I think that's obviously a huge advantage. I know people in our bourbon group.
I'll have some other people on as well.
Yeah, they're roughly in a half-hour radius, so not too far. And then obviously, I know there's some other bourbon channels.
Some bourbon channels
that will be joining. I know we had last week the Bourbon and Balls
guys. Yeah,
they're going to try to do another repeat appearance maybe the next month or so. So
yeah,
at least that's what they said on the video. I watched it.
Yeah, I've got some emails going with them. I think I'm going to be on their channel for a guest appearance as well.
Yeah.
And the master distiller at Lake Erie said he's going to come on the channel at some point, and
it's funny because he said
just have him on as a guest.
It's funny because he said when we were talking to him afterwards, he's like, "Yeah, I've been on podcasts like once a week for like the last 2 years."
Cheers, Adam.
So yeah, cheers. But yeah, so he's excited to be a part of it, and that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to do that as well. I'm going to start reaching out to more distilleries and try to get more people on, just more informative stuff.
Yeah.
So Tracy said, get the 1910 and the 1920 and mix them.
Straight up 50-50
Yeah,
blend.
it's a 50-50 blend for the 1915.
Pour half a bottle into like a decanter or whatever, and then the other half in another, and then you can reuse them in the same bottles and just make sure you label them properly. But yeah, it's super easy.
And that way, you also have the 1910 and 1920 to drink separately.
Yeah.
And then you can try all three together and decide what you like best.
Yep. I went through.
Paul's right. Paul's been a guest a few times, and Paul will be on, more going forward too over this year.
That bourbon guy.
So,
but yeah, I was gonna say the cool thing is, and I'm sure a lot of people go through bourbon phases. Like, you get all the tater bottles, you get all the limited releases. You then get to a point of like, all right, what can I create on my own? I've gone through that phase a lot, and I love doing like a poor man's 4-grain, also known as like an E.H. Taylor, the poor man's Pappy, the Prudent Pappy, a number of different things. But it is fun to kind of explore those different things and see what you might like.
The thing is, my favorite blend is a tater blend because it's the poor man's Pappy.
Yeah, poor man's Pappy.
So you're blending Weller 12 with Weller Antique.
Yep. I have. I think if you do.
Cast 529 has been on the show. He was here when we did our giveaway.
Yep, exactly.
Sean, and I'll probably go ask you guys to be on again throughout the year. I mean,
yeah,
here's a long time.
Yeah, please. I want to get away.
That's a lot of shows.
Please, I want to get away for a little bit. So come on down.
Paul does bowl on Thursdays, but
he rushes out of here to go bowl.
Yeah, he comes in for an hour, then he leaves.
Yep,
I think he bowls a little bit later.
Yeah, his particular events when he's on, it's gonna be like done at 7.
Yeah.
With me, it might trickle a little more, and I mean, you might get bonus content. Like the one time our video didn't end, we ended up doing another 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. Is OWA and Weller 12 for Poor Man's Pappy? Yes. It is a blend.
It is 1/3 of Weller 12 and 2/3 of the red.
2 to 1.
2 to 1
red,
ratio.
red to 12.
Yep.
That's Poor Man's Pappy, and then you let it sit for like a week before you try it. So let it sit and just kind of mingle together. And it's fantastic.
I'm a bit old school. I usually do a week per bottle, regardless of the ratio. So if you have 2 bottles, minimum 2 weeks. 3, I usually do closer to a month, just so it's a lot to marry. So that's just my particular thing. But once it does blend and mesh well, it tastes incredible.
That's my favorite blend.
Yeah.
What do you think, Devin?
Pretty good.
He likes Poor Man's Pappy too.
He loves the Poor Man's Pappy.
Loves Poor Man's Pappy. Yeah.
I love how we still incorporate little Dev and actual Devin in the videos.
Yeah. And it's funny, Devin's bourbon hunting. He's not even anywhere in the state, near the state.
Yeah.
Because I know, as David said, his mom went out. I know, got him a bottle.
Yeah.
I got him a bottle of 1924 last week because he didn't have one.
Jeez.
So he's going to come back and have bottles waiting for him.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, I know obviously when you go on deployment, your income as a military individual is tax free.
Right.
I just can't wait to see what his Venmo.
And you get additional pay too, depending like where you're at, and like
how
being overseas and stuff like that.
Yeah. However, I cannot wait to see what his Venmo receipt is going to be like. Oh yeah, I got this bottle for you while you're away. Give me this, give me that money. So it should be interesting. or maybe like, hey, I saw you bought diapers for my future baby. Thank you. Here you go.
Give me the water bottle.
Oh, water bottle. There you go. I thought you were going for a new
No.
new glass. I kind of want to actually go for that.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's give me a new glass.
Yeah, I got you. Here you go.
So
I was a little more prepared this trip for tonight. I got a couple glasses pulled to the side, so we don't have to reach behind us and get them.
Yeah, hazardous duty pay, right? There's one.
Yep.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of special pay you get when you're on deployment and you're overseas.
Yep. The unique thing, though, I know it might be a little bit of a surprise, so I'll let Todd eventually reveal that if it comes to be, but Devin should be coming back for a little bit so he can be there for his child's birth. So that's super exciting. So a little short duration to be away to come back.
He'll be home for, I think, like 3 weeks.
Yeah, something like that. So,
but I'm not sure. Awesome. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get. I mean, his baby's being born, so I don't know if we'll have any time to talk to him or anything.
True, so. but yeah. So if anything does happen, that'd be pretty exciting, pretty cool.
Yeah, Bill, hand me the water bottle. Bill said the water bottle is an antique. Yeah, it was actually a special reserve.
It was.
Yeah, so I keep water bottles full in the fridge. I use old whiskey bottles. I think I got about 5 of them are Weller bottles, a mix between antiques and special reserves, and then I got a couple others.
And it's interesting. So with the bourbon group that we're a part of, like locally, got a bunch of different bottles that I kind of stole the idea, and I now have like 9 or 10. So it's great. It's almost when our group meets up, it's almost like a bottle per person, which is great. So when we like get to the point of refilling, I get on my Brita filter and just dump it in.
Yeah, we go through a lot of water.
We go through a lot of water, which is good. We stay hydrated.
Yeah. David, yes, David. Poor Man's Pappy is 12, Weller 12 and Weller 107. And it's a really nice blend.
Yep. So yeah, pretty much you use about a third of the bottle for the Weller 12. And then 2/3 of the antique. Yeah, 2 to 1 ratio. Yep.
So one of our subscribers,
Dan,
yep, gave me this bottle. He said, "I want you to try this and try to guess what distillery it's from, because this is sourced.
Yep.
Nashville Barrel Company sources. This is a 7-year small batch, 120.22 proof." So we're going to give this a try and see if we can figure out where it comes from.
Yep. And while he kind of gets that prepped up, Tracy, completely agree. That's the whole point. just want to make sure like Devin might be able to do a video that he'll be back in the States or say hello, how things are going, maybe a little update on his baby and how Anna's doing. So
yeah, I'm sure he can send us a video, like just an update.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be able to get together and like shoot any videos.
Yeah.
We've talked. We're going to see if we can shoot one or two. But I'm sure he'll be able to give us like a short and update. And
Yeah.
I want to see if I can have him pull some more barrel samples from the Whiskey Sippers Infinity Barrel.
Yep. And
kind of see where it's at.
The other part is too, depending on how badly I do in these future upcoming videos.
Cheers, Oak and Agave.
Yep. Depending on how terrible I do in these upcoming videos for the back half of March, he might be wanting to do a video or two.
What's that?
I said, depending on how badly I do.
On these
videos, he might
like
we need
get him out of there.
We need to get in here. We need to do a day of filming. Ooh, this is good.
That does have a really nice nose.
Yeah.
You want to do a set of beer glasses with Old Eagle Rare? You're talking about like the old one or like the current bottles?
That'd be kind of cool. I know people use like the bottles for like candles.
Yeah, I've got several candles I've made from bottles.
Yeah. And I know I'm actually in the process with like 4 Roses of using them as old vases. Yeah. It's funny before as
your hat put you at -7.
hey, it's tis the season. We're in the Peaky Blinders era with March. This is one of my favorite holidays. For the Mount Rushmore, for me, it's St. Patty's #1, Christmas #2. I leave my Christmas tree up year round. I love Thanksgiving and the friends and stuff and get-togethers, and then 4th of July. Gotta love America.
Oak and Agave. I have not seen Dave Vogelstein on our lives, so I haven't seen him here tonight.
Yeah.
The Infinity Barrel, Tracy.
It's a great story.
If you go back to
August.
Well, if you go back through our videos, you'll see an Infinity Barrel video. But basically, what it is Devin and I went to Jack Daniel's World Barbecue Championship, and while we were there, we purchased used like recently dumped Jack Daniel's barrels.
Yep.
And Devin took his and we set it up in his basement, and we have been filling it with bottles. We got a bunch of donations from people around here in our group.
Yep.
We had some people send in some from
I think I donated like 12 bottles.
Yeah,
something like that.
From the channel. And we went and bought a bunch. We bought a bunch of like Benchmark Foolproof. It's just a whole bunch of different bottles, and we've dumped them into the barrel to let them sit and age. So we're just kind of letting it sit there and age until Devin gets back, and we'll see what happens. It's kind of like doing a double oak, right? I mean, we're taking this stuff, we're putting it in another barrel and letting it age.
The other part
longer.
too is it's really cool. I know. Todd's been doing a log, so I think if I'm not mistaken, it's over
on the
100.
Patreon.
It's over 100 proof, right? 105 maybe.
I need to
update it.
I have it updated on my computer. I need to load it, the new version out on the Patreon. Right now, it's like at 101.7 proof.
So it's over 100. That's the important part.
The barrel is about a third full.
Yeah, which is wild considering we've had like several cases of like Weller Foolproof at 125 proof getting in there. A number of stuff. There was some stipulations on what was added.
Yeah, we did not do anything finished. And we were not doing any kind of Scotch or
finish,
Irish whiskey. It was all bourbon or rye.
And I know we were trying to dump some bottles, but so there is some lower proofers in there, like 85 or 90.
And that's why we ended up buying and dumping like over a case of the Benchmark Foolproof to
just bump up proof up some. So I'm glad to see that it's over 100.
And then we added about 3 or 4 bottles of the early times bottled in bond, kind of give them a little more age because it's like an older
style thing. But yeah, so it's going to be an awesome little thing. And over the meetings that we've had in our personal group, we've been able to try it kind of month through month. Which is a really good taste for how everything has been happening. Yeah, so Brian got a bottle before Devin left. I gave him a sample of the Infinity Barrel. Yeah, you got to let me know what you think of it. I actually have, I think, 3 of them I had him pull before he left that are going to go out as Patreon giveaways throughout the year here. Yeah. So, and then when he gets back, I'm going to have him pull some more. So it's kind of like batch 2. Yeah,
because
exactly.
we added some bottles since those first ones were pulled.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
and obviously the proof has gone up a little bit since. So, but yeah, at some point, I think the other thing is too. I know, like obviously we're potentially doing another pick. We're waiting on some of those logistics and whatnot. But when we do meetups, I know that's a bottle that will be passed around.
Yeah.
So more people in the community can try it, and then when we get to the point of hopefully it getting filled, we only have 2/3 left. It's only another shit ton of 200 bottles to be added or 150 bottles to be added.
Yeah, I'll post something for you, Tracy. The only rules are it can't be finished.
Yep.
It has to be bourbon or rye. It
Yep.
can't be finished.
Yeah, and yeah, nothing like Canadian or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty easy stuff.
Yeah. So we got a lot of like bottled and bond. We were putting in there different bottled and bonds and things like that. So
yep. And
a lot of benchmark.
And honestly too, like if in your area, like if you have like a number of like, let's say sales, I'm a big salesperson. So you find a discount bottle, or if you're able to get a discount on a case, and it's got something super high proof, like I said, the benchmark full proof, relatively cheap, $20-$25 a bottle. Those are just awesome to add. So that way we get the proof up.
Yeah. Brad, am I going to the next meetup with Cask 529 at New Riff? Maybe. I have to look through my calendar and see if I have anything planned for that week or not. So we'll see. I don't know yet.
When is that week?
I believe it was the week of June 5th, that Saturday. So I'm going to have to look and see. June and July get really busy for me because we do a lot of traveling because of the time of year.
Yeah.
So
I travel all year. I'm never here. my neighbors, they like, Pat, are you home tonight? I'm like, no, I'm in a different state. Like, oh, okay, that's what I thought. Your trash wasn't out.
All right, let's give this a try. See if we can figure out.
I tried it a little bit.
I have not had a sip
as I've been talking, but I don't know. It's really good. I have a inkling of what it could be, but from a smell perspective, I think it could be this one distillery.
It's got a really nice mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
Got a good finish. A little oaky.
I have two now that come to mind. I was going to say, Dan, if you're in we have 27 viewers right now. That's awesome. I was going to say, if Dan, you're in the group chat, let us know that you're here.
It's a little dusty.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's what I'm thinking.
Kind of sweet and sour.
So there's one particular distillery to me that comes off that way.
Reminds me of turkey.
Yeah, I was about to say. Wow,
yeah,
turkey.
It's got like a little bit of sweet and sour.
Turkey.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for joining. Have good luck bowling tonight.
Yep. Good luck. Good luck. Hopefully you get close to a 300. Or actually, Paul, if you're still here real quick, try to get me a sample of that Weller Full Proof. That's what I want. He's got a bowling alley that gives out Weller Full Proof like water.
Yeah, right. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and it's a pick.
Yeah, but so it's got a bit of that sweet and sour with a little bit of that kind of dusty taste.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of a turkey.
Reminds me of turkey as well.
I'll have to text him. I can text him, see if he'll answer.
Yeah. Let us know. Yeah, because like I said, we're doing this as a blind. Let me see the bottle actually. So what we're trying is a sourced Nashville Barrel Company, small batch straight bourbon at cask strength, which is aged 7 years. It is currently at 120.22 proof. So it's got some decent proof, got good mouthfeel, and it's a source bottle. Distilled in Kentucky, bottled by Nashville Barrel Company in Nashville.
Renee says Turkey and Michter's are dusty. They are, and I think Michter sources a lot of their stuff from Turkey.
Yeah, they do.
Their older bottles are sourced from Turkey.
Try to figure out. I'm going to put this in. There we go, right there. It's moving it down the list.
Yeah.
Actually, may have that Taylor, because we did that after this.
Yeah. So to me, that's what I would guess. I'm guessing it's a turkey.
I guess turkey.
Do any of you guys know? Do you guys know what Nashville Barrel Company 7-year small batch where they sourced it from?
I don't know, but it's a
they
good
might
one.
have multiple ones. I don't know.
They probably do. And this one's particular batch 424. I feel like I gotta honor Devin by giving some random
Yeah,
specifics.
some random
random specifics.
stats.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Tracy.
Thank you so much, Tracy. We appreciate it. Brad. Yes, that's right. So Brad closed on his house finally, right?
Oh yeah,
Closed
that's right.
on his house. He's moving in. Congratulations, Brad.
Welcome to home ownership. It only gets worse.
And I'm guessing it's going to be that King of Kentucky.
That's right.
That's
He
I think,
does have
he has a
one.
King of Kentucky.
Yeah. That or depending on if his barrel pick with
the
whiskey
Augusta
weather,
15.
the Augusta 15, because that's really going to be Augusta 16.
I think I don't remember how long they had to wait.
I think it was a month.
Yeah, but yeah, congrats, Brad. That's awesome.
I
know he was he didn't go out Tuesday night because he lives right across the border from Ohio.
He's like
went,
10-15 minutes away. Yeah,
but instead of going out for the Ohio drop because he was packing his basement. So
yeah, sacrifices, wrong ones. You can always pack later.
Yeah,
especially when it's at your family's place.
Mm.
But with that being said, I will willingly take a sample of whatever you're doing, and when you come over, you take whatever you want from my place. Which hopefully, in future episodes, I actually just bought a bunch of different camera gear and setup. So hopefully, maybe at some point, I could do a broadcast from my place. And we'll see how that turns out. But
well, you could always like stream in like Devin did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Your own.
So that way I can do a pour from my place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Patrick's got a good sized basement.
I do have a great size.
And he's finding now he has shelves. I first met Patrick and first went over,
the King of Floor
we
Whiskey
called
is
him
a
Floor
nickname
Whiskey because literally
for a reason.
He had 300 bottles just laid out on the floor.
Now I'm closer to 5. And everything's on a shelf.
So we actually picked at him enough that he went and got shelves to put stuff up.
The summer and fall of 2024 was warehouse shelving. Taking a note from that bourbon guy, aka Paul, so I can kind of get something on a shelf, look at it without breaking my back, and seeing what I actually had to offer for the rest of the group. So it's nice to know that I finally have shelving. I don't have a finished basement, so it is still the random brick walls.
There's still some stuff that can go up, but at least you got your whiskey on shelves now. It's not just laying it all over the floor.
Exactly.
You had a natural disaster.
Like a Neanderthal.
Like the mudslide at Buffalo Trace in your basement.
Yeah, exactly. Did not have that, but it is nice to say that at least have some shelving. I do have plans to eventually do a basement bar and all that kind of stuff. I have I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the PGA Tour, the Senior Championship Tour, but Firestone Country Club is in my backyard, and because of that, it's more of a golf theme. At least it's what I'm going to try to get to at some point.
So Brad, David told Brad he has a one they picked up during Stag Week here in Ohio. He got the Aged Sailor Batch 13.
Great bottle. One. That's a great bottle. Great bottle. I got that one too.
And now Brad's saying for the King of Kentucky, does he get a mortgage payment for it or does he drink it?
Hey, for the record, two things.
You can always make more money. When's the chance you're going to get another King of Kentucky at MSRP?
Exactly. That was my biggest concern. I know we joked around in the YouTube short and everything with like, oh, we got Malort instead of actual King of Kentucky. You will never find a bottle of MSRP like that again.
No.
So the best and the biggest flex is to drink it and make sure that you're sharing with your friends. Unfortunately, my friends were very similar to what this bottle looks like because it was like almost gone. And I've had 3 pours of it. So yeah.
Yeah, Paul's saying the same thing about his William LaRue Weller.
Yeah, he's like, we do the same thing with his bottle too.
You open those bottles when you got a group of like 8-9 guys who'd like to drink whiskey. Then
the best part is
get a good din in it.
The best part is
happened to my George C. Stag too.
I know, the best part is everyone's kind of done their share of that. Yeah. And so the nice thing is say that this group at least has passed kindergarten. We learned how to share. And for the record, Tori, I know you probably say mortgage payment, but it is a flex to share that bottle amongst friends.
Yeah. And It's always fun to do that. It feels
Yeah.
good to be able to open one of those with everybody and let them
That's
try it.
to be honestly
Yeah.
is the flex to share it with people.
So I
This is
definitely think
good.
it's turkey.
I think it's turkey.
I think it's definitely turkey. At least some kind of turkey.
maybe
Maybe
a buff turkey.
Buff turkey they talking about.
I've tried two buff turkeys before, thanks to Keith and thanks to a friend in South Carolina. But yeah, absolutely incredible. Good, they're delicious.
I mean, I've heard about them. I know they're sourced. I don't know a whole lot about them. I haven't had any, but this has got a turkey taste to it.
Turkey juice at Buffalo Trace being aged.
So it's just aged at a different place.
Yeah.
I guess it's still going to have a similar profile.
It's similar profile, but then the bottles have been sourced a number of distilleries. Like I think maybe Nashville might be one of them. I know Dark Arts is one of them.
Dark Arts does,
Penelope,
yes. Dark Arts.
And there's a couple others too. But yeah, no, they're awesome.
So most of my bottles are sitting on an industrial cart.
Oh,
I'm in the process of getting my bar shelves built. I got probably 15 bottles of backup sitting on my bathroom floor.
hey, I'll call you the prince of floor whiskey. I am the king.
Princess.
Yeah, the princess. There you go. Yeah, sorry, princess. There you go.
Trevor says he needs more bourbon friends. That's how I felt. That's why I started a bourbon club.
It's true. It's true. And it's funny too, because like obviously for our bourbon club that we're a part of, we get together once a month.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that's once a month. I have way more surplus and inventory than what I can possibly share.
Yeah.
So anytime someone comes over, I'm like, do you want to try something?
Yeah, that's what I do.
No.
People come over, I bring them down and share pours with them.
Kind of trap them a little bit. But yeah, no, it's one of those things of like, I have a lot of friends in South Carolina that drink as well. So every time I come down there, I'm bringing like 10 or 15 bottles down. And they're like, how many bottles are you bringing down? Do they buy stuff? I'm like, no, this is for them to try with me.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for these bottles to be cracked open.
Brad told his friend Brian to bring cigars. So he brings cigars. I'm not a huge cigar smoker. Every once in a while I have one.
Except when Ohio State wins the national championship.
What I was going to tell. So
yeah.
when the playoffs started for NCAA playoffs,
yep.
I had exactly like 4 cigars, and there were 4 playoff games. So after each game, Ohio State won, I would smoke one. They ended up winning the national championship. So it got me a little bit more into smoking cigars. So now I'm actually setting up. I'm going to do a video. I'm trying to get somebody who owns a cigar club down in Canton to have me come in and talk about pairing bourbon and cigars.
I'll be a part of that. Let me know.
So
I like cigars. I played football in college, so I know one of the things we signed for was that we wouldn't smoke or do tobacco. But as soon as the season was done and spring ball and all that stuff, I had my first cigar, and it was like a $20-$25 cigar. My floor in college was known for cigar walks. We would walk around our like three hall dorm and do cigar walks, and it was the worst experience of all time for me. But I eventually got into cigars. I think maybe like 15 or 20 cigars like in that summer leading up to like the next football season, and didn't do anything until after the season was done. So that was my regimen of like cigars. Now it's pretty much just when people get married or bachelor parties or something like that, or just really terrible or very successful weeks at work. They're the complete opposites.
So Brian from Cast 529 said his biggest personal flex was when they opened an Old Rip 10-year.
Ooh.
That's a good one. Bryant brought that over here one time.
He brought it on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Or a Wednesday night. He's like, oh, I got this. Look we're going to crack it open.
Old Rip 10-year, and he brought Old Rip 10-year and a Thomas H. Handy the same night.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That Thomas H. Handy is delicious. Absolutely delicious. But yeah, big fan of cigars when it's in the right place.
UGA fan.
It's unfortunate about the Bulldogs.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, you guys won it a couple of times. You're good.
Yeah, you've won, especially I'm pretty sure Kirby Smart's a part of
there's only 3 coaches in the college right now that have a national championship. Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, and Dabo.
Yeah, Debo, yeah. But
they're the only ones that have a championship.
But I was going to say, isn't Kirby Smart though a part of Saban's family tree or coaching tree?
His coaching tree.
Yeah, coaching tree, not family tree. Yeah, coaching tree. Yeah.
David said he loves a good cigar. Ashton, I really don't know much about cigars. I mean, the ones I had, I think I bought one. It was like a Buffalo Trace cigar, and the rest were gifted to me.
Yep.
So I personally don't know a lot about cigars.
Ashtons aren't bad. I like CAOs. My favorites, Olivia's. Those to me, the V series, the O series, the S series, all of those are delicious. My uncle, who kind of got me into them, he's obsessed with Punch as well as I think it's Rocky Patel. I think Rocky Patel, that's a pretty common one. But I think it's Rocky Patel. But either way, like for the cigars that I smoke, because I don't smoke them that often, for me, it's more I'd rather spend that $10 to $15 a cigar to get a little better experience than something a little bit cheaper. But I do have an E.H. Taylor and I do have a Buffalo Trace one in my cigar box right now.
Brad said he quit smoking 8 years ago and he'd like to try a cigar, but he's nervous. First of all, congratulations on quitting. I quit about 14 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I used to smoke 2 packs a day.
Damn.
And I quit. So it's hard to do. Congrats on quitting. Smoking the cigar, I don't have a problem with it. I don't inhale.
Yeah, no.
When
I
smoke a cigar, I puff, and I get sit it in my mouth and I blow it out.
Yeah.
So I don't actually inhale it.
Yeah. However, if you do inhale, that is a very harsh reality.
Yeah, I did. A couple of times I have, and I start coughing like crazy.
Almost worse than when I choked on the Dickel earlier.
You're used to choking on Dickel.
No, just the one time.
All right. Eric said he loves cigars.
Yep.
Have a decent humidor. I have a little $30 humidor that's empty at the moment. I need to buy some cigars.
Yeah, I have 2 humidors and similar deal. Found it through a magazine. I think one was like Thompson Cigars and the other one was International or something like that. But like it's like $20, $30. You get the humidor and 10 cigars.
Okay.
So I got a huge sample variety pack at that point, like just pass them out. But I have one for my camper and then one for my house. So I have multiple locations for humidors. Yeah. But I smoke maybe six or 7 cigars a year. I still have 2 humidors.
I need to pick some up. Like I said, I don't really know much about them.
You should. He
said so. This is Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill. I don't get that peanut taste.
I don't get any of that nuttiness.
Yeah.
Trevor says he's a WVU fan, so he doesn't know what college football success is like.
Hey, you have Pat McAfee. That is college success. Someone who transpired the NFL, especially as a kicker, former kicker, to see his career go to where it was, and then obviously get a part of Barstool, ESPN, and his show is incredible.
Yeah, I know, Brian. Cigarettes. Brian said he quit 14 years ago too. Yeah, man, those packs are expensive. Now it's like $7 a pack.
Oh, yeah, $8. I think it's 8. I don't smoke either, but
it's really expensive.
It's pricey. Yeah. It's pricey.
Not sure how your husband would feel if he saw you puffing on a cigar. I don't know. Maybe he'd want to share it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
smoke cigarette. Yeah, I think a lot of us that are like at least my age group, and you're still younger, but
yeah, I'm turning 35 on Monday.
Yeah, so
I'm old as shit.
No.
And my dog is also born on my birthday.
Those of us in our late
7,
late 40s and to 50s, early 50s or whatever, that was really, really common for us through like the late 80s, the 90s. We were kind of like late teenagers in our 20s. Everybody smoked. I mean, it was really, really common.
I mean, there's a lot of people for my generation.
Jesus Christ, $9.49 a pack.
Yep.
My God.
Now, where exactly is locally? Where
he's down in Zanesville.
Okay, well, so that's Columbus area.
He's in Ohio, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense just from like the tax perspective. But yeah, I was gonna say at least $8. I used to work for Pilot Flying J, and there would be so many truck drivers like, oh my God, the cartons here in Ohio are so much cheaper than PA or New York, where they're finally going for their destinations so they buy cartons. It was crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that was very common in, when I came up, everybody smoked. So I think it's a lot less common now.
Yeah.
And then they replaced it like vaping. I think vaping
and
or whatever.
And the Zins and the Chew and all that kind of stuff, I think is kind of been more of an alternate than smoking. Yeah. Kids these
smoke
days
vapes.
Smoke vapes.
Yes, I just said they do their vapes. Yeah. I don't know. I've tried the vape like once or twice, but like I said, after quitting smoking, I just can't really inhale anything. It just makes me cough.
It's funny because like I have one vape, and the vape that I have I think is from like 5 years ago when I got one. I only bring it on the golf course, and my friends in South Carolina, they call it a poofy.
A poofy.
A poofy. So like, yeah, let me have a hit of that poofy. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, I don't smoke either. Just cigars once in a blue moon.
He said things like Juuls are $20 a pack for pods.
That's because the Juuls are discontinued. I think, and I think they're like a secondary value on the original ones.
I'm guessing a pod has like a whole like bunch of stuff.
I think it's
in
like
it, though.
two. I think it's like 2 or 3 in a pod.
Mm.
But you just essentially refill the juice or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen some things where like vaping's like worse than cigarettes or something. I've seen some reports, but I don't know what to believe. When
It's
half
still
this
too
stuff
new.
comes out anymore.
Yeah, it's
so.
still too new for I think some of those reports to come through. But yeah, every once in a blue moon, I'll do like a cigar or I call it a poofy on the golf course. That's about it.
Yeah, just every once in a while I'll smoke a cigar. That's it. And I don't inhale.
Yeah.
So,
no, yeah, it's all in the back
yeah.
of your palate, and then you throw it right back out. And after you're really cool, you can do smoke rings.
I used to smoke rings with cigarettes when I would do cigarettes.
I can do them with cigars. They're fun.
Just smoke the green stuff. they got gummies and
Yeah,
all that
don't
stuff
need-
for that
yeah,
now.
with gummies, you don't need to smoke anything.
Oils
You
and
just do that.
gummies and CBT drinks and all that kind of stuff.
What's the one that's legal?
HTC drinks.
What's the one that's legal in Ohio? I think it's Delta 8. Is that it? I don't know. I don't mess with that stuff. So
Yeah,
it is.
all the sin taxes, Tracy. You're right. All the
Yeah.
sin taxes they put on alcohol and cigarettes.
So as someone in sales and someone who's been a part of like retail, I was going to say you really never trust somebody that you're working with until you've seen them drunk or you smoke with them or you do an activity that's outside of work. 99% of the time it's either smoking or it's drinking. There's like no other options. That's how you know you trust somebody or not based off how you party with them.
So Trevor, now the smell of cigarettes I can smell. Like when I was a smoker, you never noticed it. Now I notice it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me too much. The smell of weed is awful. I can walk in somewhere and go, oh my God, somebody smoked weed and walked past this doorway. I mean, it smells so bad.
Or a skunk is nearby.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. And it's crazy too, because like I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but like on like on a car ride, if you see someone like hotboxing, like, did that person run over a skunk? or are they hotboxing that car? And I'm like, I'm going like 70 on the freeway. Like I just don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
I'll do it like you go to a store and it's just like somebody will walk by you and you'll go, okay, yeah, they smoked a bunch of weed.
Brag.
Everything is legal in Ohio.
Yeah, everyone says stay away from Ohio. Ohio's mid or whatever, but
no, I love Ohio.
Yeah, we clearly love it for a reason. We're still here. We travel away from it frequently. At least I do.
Sure,
but I come back. This is my resting grounds.
I grew up in Florida and I've lived here for like the last 27 years now. So I love both states. I love Florida and I love it here. I'm happy with both states. I've pretty much spent my whole life in. I'm glad I've never had
until you discover the
live
bourbon
in
scene
California
in
or something.
Well, until you discover the bourbon scene in Florida, that's a nightmare within itself.
Well, the problem down there is secondary pricing. I mean, they get plenty of, and we got people, in our Patreon and stuff from Florida. They get plenty of bottles. It's just
this is
expensive.
This is a funny comment from Brad. Stone cold sober when I dressed this outfit on, and I brought Dickel. My whole thought process was March 3rd, Bottle and Bond Day. I want to try to focus on bottle kills, so a little splash to this left. But
he walked in. He goes, "I brought this for Bottle and Bond Day." I said, "No, you did."
Yeah, I did. But the funny thing
I'm
is,
not drinking that.
This I got for $30 at Uncorked for 13 years. How can you pass up a 13-year-old bottle?
Because it's 13-year-old Dickel.
I like the Bottle and Bonds that they do. I have a 15-year, not a fan, but the 13-year, delicious. I love it.
Well, you can finish it. I'm still not going to drink it.
I might. Well, with that being said, we are essentially an hour and 20 minutes into the stream. We still have a good number of supporters on there. We have 19 people in stream. I didn't see the highest that we were at. I think we were at 27 the last I saw, but thank you all for joining. I don't know if we're trying to sign off or not, or still do another pour.
We'll go ahead and sign off because I gotta do some stuff I gotta take care of for tomorrow. But
fair enough.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. by next week, I hope to have some barrel pick information.
I'm just gonna hide it.
Okay. I hope to have some barrel pick information. I'm not going to promise anything. It all depends on how my calls go. But I'll definitely keep everybody updated. If you haven't already, you can check out our Discord and our Patreon. And remember,
And just remember, the best bourbon or whiskey is the one you like the most.
Little Dev said it best.
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see you guys next week and check out our videos. We got a new one coming out tomorrow. And